Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
Hey, good evening, audience and board members. My name is Evelyn Madrigal, and I'm representing Yuba City High School for the last time today. I'm so sad.
We can tell that as well.
I'm so sad. Okay, so as we approach the end of another remarkable academic year filled with achievement, growth, and memories, I'm thrilled to share with you some of the exciting events that will take place for our seniors. First and foremost, I would like to draw your attention to Senior Sunset, which will take place on May 25th from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. in the evening. The seniors are going to have, I believe, food trucks and a whole bunch of other games. So hopefully that's fun for them. I think I'm actually going to be setting up. So yay. And following this, we have Senior Awards.
Can you say it one more time? What time in the summer?
Senior Sunset, May 25th from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30.
Thank you very much. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. Following this, we have Senior Awards. This is on May 30th, an occasion where we will come together to celebrate the achievements and contributions of our seniors. And obviously, this is a testament to their dedication and hard work that they've shown in the past 4 years. But before we say goodbye to them, we also have an entire week dedicated to them. Senior Spirit Week commences on May 22nd, so yesterday, which was Senior Sashes, and they got little sashes that they got to like decorate, so good for them. And Tuesday is Kid Day. They got to dress as a little version of them. Wednesday is Senior Citizens Day, where they will dress as citizens. Thursday is Senior Crowns, where they will wear crowns that they have decorated. And on Friday, Senior Shirts. And moving on to the graduation ceremony, which will take place on June 2nd. And obviously, this will be a time to celebrate their accomplishments and to witness them stepping into a new chapter of their lives. YCHS offers their sincerest congratulations to our seniors, and we hope that their journey is filled with boundless opportunities, personal growth, and the fulfillment of their dreams. And before I say goodbye, I would like to take a moment to express my deep gratitude for being given the opportunity to serve as your ASB representative to the board. It has been an incredible experience, and I have learned so much. And I'm very excited to continue serving our school community as your newly elected ASB president for next year, as I had mentioned at the previous meeting. And it has been an honor to serve as voice for our student body. Thank you for your time and support, and I hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your evening.
So mine's not as prepared as that one, so I'm just gonna come up here, and like she said, I'm Eddie Jensen. I'm the River Valley ASB board representative. It's my honor tonight to be speaking. And I just want to start out by thanking all you guys for giving us, me, Evelyn, this great opportunity to come and speak for you guys and really communicate what ASB and River Valley and Yuba City are doing. And I think it is a very important part, and I'm glad to see it moving on to next year. Unfortunately, my successor could not be here today, so I cannot introduce. So I'm going to leave it as a surprise for next year. And she wanted to go in the deep end, so that's her choice. And so I want to get off started with past events. Last Thursday was a big Thursday for us. We did have our freshman carnival. It was hosted by Link Crew. They had burgers, hot dogs for all the freshmen as kind of like, you made it through your plebe year. So now moving on into upper classes. We also did have our yearbooks handed out on Thursday. And it was really great. They had a signing station. They had prizes to give away. It was really a great show. This week, we are having our Senior Spirit Week. So Monday was Dresses Senioritis, so PJs. Today was Dress as Your Younger Self. So I had some cargo shorts and some tennis shoes and whatnot. It was interesting to see what everybody came with. Tomorrow is going to be college wear, so where you're committing to. Thursday is going to be your future career. Obviously, dress as your future, hopefully future career. And then Friday is walking yearbooks. So everybody's going to get white T-shirts, and then everybody's going to sign each other's shirts as another way to remember each other. So Some community events that did happen. We did have the community basketball tournament last weekend. It did have over 1,000 participants. It was over Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it was a really great way for the community to come together. Last week also was the Car Club Car Show. It was actually a really great turnout. We made over $500, and it was amazing to see people all the way from Sacramento come down and support the local car community. So moving on to next week. As a senior, it's a little worrisome, but I mean, we're going to look at it. We only have 3 days next week, which is kind of crazy. Yuba City has 4. So obviously next week, we do have grad practice, and on June 1st, we are graduating and moving on to grad night after that, which is kind of sad. I really enjoyed this whole year with you guys, and so it will be sad moving on. But something I really wanted to note that was important. This last Monday, we did have our scholarship awards night. And so we recognized everybody who got scholarships to their respective schools. And something that I did want to say is that River Valley senior class raised over $1 million worth of scholarships just in our graduating class this year. So it was a really big accomplishment to all the students who worked really hard. Also, I would also like to make another note. A young gentleman named Alejandro Macias. I don't know if you guys have already heard. I'm probably sure you have. He did win the Amazon Future Engineer Scholarship, which is a really high regards, as there's only one in the entire nation given by Amazon. The scholarship is worth $40,000 and guarantees him an Amazon internship every summer of his college career as he attends UC Berkeley. So I just wanted to note that River Valley students are really putting in the work as we move on into our college careers. And so at that, I really want to express my deep gratitude. It has really been an honor, and I cannot wait to see where this goes and where River Valley goes as well. I really appreciate how hard you guys have worked and allowing us to have this opportunity. So if you don't mind, I would just like to come around and just thank every single one of you guys for all of your hard work.
I can see where you're going on with that.
I'll send you say how this.
You are impressive.
That's big. Go big blue. Into the wild blue yonder.
The growth we've seen in you all, and I don't know. Both of you, you've been sitting in this boardroom forever hearing students. I've come to a lot of board meetings and heard a lot of students, but I think the two of you have done the best job I've seen ever.
Thank you so much. Guys.
I know that we had athletes from Yuba City High School and River Valley who went to the master track and field.
Yes.
Last week.
Yes, it was last Friday and Saturday. Our boys and girls 4x800 teams made it to masters. We also had a couple girls in the mile as well as a couple girls in the 2 mile, and then we did have a single lady thrower make it to the master meet.
So then after masters is state.
Yeah, unfortunately, the percentage of athletes that move on, especially in California, is a little rough. So unfortunately, we did not have any state qualifiers this year.
Good season. So bravo to you all.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Eddie and Evelyn, for your time, and yeah, you definitely brought a lot of character to the role. I really appreciate it.
You guys.
It was a good time. We'll miss you. Feel free to come back and visit. We're here every other Tuesday.
I'm not doing it again.
Moving on to the YCHS student music recognition, we have the opportunity to.
Yes, they weren't here. There's so we recognized our some of our music students at the previous meeting, and we were in transitioning from an event. So our band is to recognize
Still no insurance.
Ah.
I'll come back and we'll give you a personal lesson, okay? What instrument would you like us to bring?
I love it.
So we appreciate the opportunity to come back with students this time who participated in the honor band. I'm going to ask you each to say your name and your instrument.
My name is Gabriel Avila. I play trumpet. I'm Owen Sargent. I play French horn.
I'm Colton Dunlap. I play alto saxophone.
What's up? I'm Nick. I play the sax.
I'm Declan Miner and I also play alto saxophone.
And we are going to go right after this back to Yuba City High School for our band awards. And there might be some happy folks in this crowd when evening's over. So we thank you so much for having us come back. And you all get a party gift for showing up. See how this works.
Colton. Congratulations. Thank you. Declan, congratulations.
Nick?
Thank you very much. Yeah.
They did.
Can we get a picture? Board members, please?
Sure. I don't know. Where do you want?
Where would you like us to?
Come this way, so parents can see.
Yeah. Okay.
So paparazzi. Smile. Okay, I got it.
The parents, a couple of seconds. All right, great.
Well done, you guys.
Thank you. I know we went over a lot of it last time, but we had a chance to bring the students back. Just the caliber of performance they had to put together is impressive. And I'm working to
Yeah. Yes.
Moving on to the RVHS Capital and Village Mall.
Yes, I'd like to introduce Principal McPeak again. And so he shares some pretty exciting information that is pretty exceptional. So I'm going to let you introduce the
Yeah, you bet.
and the kids.
You bet. Yeah, a great story to tell you guys. This is popping off the page, fun news. And to help tell the story a little bit, let's identify who we're going to recognize here. Let's first invite up our business and accounting teacher, Mr. Tostica. Come on up. Come on up right here. And we have 4 students to recognize who are part of our Capitol Hill Challenge team. And we're going to explain what that means in a minute. We need Joseph Osborne to come up. Come on, Joseph. Ekamjeet Singh, come on up. Sama Chichi, come join us. And Parneet Chauhan, come on up. We're looking at the Capitol Hill Challenge competitive team. And what that is, it's a group of students who was led by Mr. Tostica starting in January for a stock market game. And it's a nationally recognized stock market game where over 1,500 schools nationwide compete. On the day before the competition closed, River Valley High School was in 3rd place, flirting with 2nd place. And then they all got together and huddled up and said, we're going to win this thing. and they made an aggressive move. And they didn't go to first. They slid back a little bit because they wanted to win it so bad. But they ended up number 12 in the nation out of 1,500 schools, the highest performing school in California. I actually love the grit. What's that? I said I'm going to start sitting in on class because I need some help in that area. Yeah. So anything you'd like to add to that, Mr. Tostica? Any students? Anything you want to add? Anything about your experience? You good? All right. So here's our Capitol Hill Challenge team. So thank you guys for working so hard. Thank you, Mr. Tostica, for leading them through it. He's super excited about his future team because now he's been through it one time and he knows what what to help them with in years to come. So congratulations, you guys. Great, thank you.
So this whole team, it was your first year doing the CHC? Well done.
Yeah.
12th and an 8th.
I think first time.
Yeah, first time through.
Yep. And I like that he says we move.
That's the best part.
Yeah, not like, even though they were like, we're willing to risk it if our chance.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I
So
appreciate
where would
that.
you like them to be? You want them over there?
Courage.
To make you an honorary chairman.
No, you did it. No. Thank you very much. Well done, y'all.
Hey.
Awesome.
Moving on to employee recognition.
All right, good evening to the Board of Trustees, staff, and audience members. The board has prioritized time on the agenda to recognize members of the district staff who have engaged in unique and extraordinary acts to educate today's students to succeed in tomorrow's world. And in so doing, personifying the YCUSD mission, which states our students and staff will be lifelong learners, creative problem solvers, and responsible, ethical, and respectful contributors in a global society. The board has prioritized this time each meeting because recognition shapes a culture of overall excellence by increasing productivity, promoting retention of top performers, and encouraging ongoing improvement. With that, I'd like to pass the lectern to our site and department managers who will present tonight's certificates. We have two managers here this evening, and we will begin with Mr. Cookman to introduce a couple of his staff. And whoever you're introducing, bring them up here so we can all stare at them.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think I'll start with Keith Martinez. I just like to say, so Keith is out at River Valley High School. He does a fantastic job out there. You've been here for 23 years, is that right? About 23 years. So he's been in the district for 23 years. He's out at River Valley High School. He takes care of the IT department out there. So I don't see Keith very often because he's out there all the time, taking care of the students, the teachers, the staff, and making sure that it's just, for lack of a better term, a well-oiled machine out there. He's taking care of everything. And so I get lots of positive comments from teachers, from staff, from Lee, who calls me up all the time and says what a great job that Keith is doing. So he's dedicated to River Valley High School. He's dedicated to the IT department. He's dedicated to the students and the teachers and the staff. But even more than that, he goes above and beyond. So Keith works in the CTE with the CTE program and helps mentor students. So I was doing interviews this year with the students, and it was a reoccurring theme over and over and over again in these interviews that you need to get over here on the camera. I don't know why you're keep going. Okay, thank you. That I kept seeing and hearing from the students that, well, Mr. Martinez helped me with this and showed me this and showed me that. So he's the unsung hero of the IT department and out there at River Valley High School. And I appreciate what he does. And he, as you can see, he doesn't like to really get a lot of, recognition on that, but I know what a great job you're doing and it's well appreciated. So thank you, sir. And I do have our annual, this is a duck award for those who do, in our department, we do these little duck awards. So they get to have these up on their shelves and show everybody else what a great job they're doing. So your commitment to excellence is well appreciated. Can we do a picture? I miss you too. Picture. Okay, here we go.
That's your good side. Thank you very much.
Right, thank you.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
you.
Good to
Nice
see
seeing you.
The next person I'd like to recognize is Stephen Snyder. Stephen. because the camera's kind of pointed here, okay. So Stephen, when I first got here in department, like everybody asked people, what do you do? And Stephen says, well, what don't I do, basically? So Stephen does, he's another one of those unsung heroes. He actually doesn't like to be recognized as well. He likes to sit and go behind the scenes and do all this stuff. So Stephen takes care of a lot of our system. Azure is one, all of you are using some sort of computer device on the backside. He's works on that. On the cloud version of that, as well as on what we call our on-prem side, Active Directory, Google Classroom. There wouldn't be a student in the district and a teacher that wouldn't be able to use their Google Classroom without Stephen behind the scenes making sure that's working. And then to keep all the students safe, and I know you're all happy about this, students. He also takes care of the content filtering so that you can't get to any of the nefarious websites and things like that. Destiny for our inventory and imaging of the computers, and let's see, Windows updates, class link. And then the other thing that I like is he took it upon himself and kind of worked with me on this as well. When I first got here, he's already doing this, making sure the tickets were being done in a timely manner, so that we're giving the best customer service. And he's always going over that with his teams that he has in the district. So just all in all around a great person to have in the district, having the IT department, and just so appreciate that. You make everything work on the backside of that. And also as we're looking at those tickets and the customer service, you're getting everybody great customer service. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it. There you go. Thank you. All right, and then just turn there. Here we go. All right.
Next, I'd like to recognize Director Slattery, who is going to introduce one of her employees.
Okay. My name is Chelsea Slattery. I'm the Director of Nutrition Services. It is my pleasure to present Blanca Najarro with a award this evening. So we have some special guests that are here today, and we'll see if I'll be able to go and get through this. But so Blanca's been with the district for 28 years. And right now she's a cook transport at River Bend. We estimate that she's helped assisted with preparing over 6 million meals in the time that she's been here. So with breakfast and lunch combined in their average of what they do at River Bend. So that's pretty amazing in itself. And I know you guys have heard about Lunch Heroes, right? We had Lunch Hero Day back in, well, actually in this month. So the first week of May, every Friday, I always remember it because my due date with my the second child was on May 7th, and she came, or it was May 5th, which was Lunch Hero Day, and she came May 7th. So it's like, it's always like birthday time / Lunch Hero Day. And I have to decide, do I honor my staff or throw a birthday party for my kid, or how do I do it all? But anyways, so Blanca recently acted to save a student from choking. And that student is here tonight, and I wasn't there. I didn't find out about it until Miss Nabel, which I believe is here as well, right? Miss Nabel, had reached out to our cafeteria manager and wanted to thank Blanca. And so what better way to thank her than to let you all know what a wonderful, lunch lady that we have in this is little Charlie, and Charlie and her mother are here tonight, and really wanted to thank Blanca. And so we created this little collage for her, printed out, and so the one that you're seeing up here on the little frame to give to Blanca, and just to thank you. I mean, sometimes people are in the right place at the right time, and without hesitation, Blanca acted to really just be that person that Charlie needed in that moment. So I'd like to invite Charlie up. They wanted to thank her, so I wanted to make sure that they were here too. Thank you. I'm gonna put it right here so I can take a picture with you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your services. Thank you for being.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm like, she's.
Oh, you want this too?
I mean, like, what's that?
I said, you want to just do those two and then I'll get in?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. Chelsea, get in there. I'll make it.
You want to slide this way so I don't know. So podium's not in the picture.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So sorry, that was supposed to be exciting for her, but I'm like. Grand finale.
Thank you so much. All those employees recognize tonight, and thank you for sharing that heartwarming story, Director Flannery, and thank you for your act. Moving forward to we have the car maker presentation.
Yeah, so these are a group of very talented student and community members who have taken on some health initiatives, and I believe they're here to talk about what they've been doing for the last few months. I've had an opportunity to work with them, ask about where the boys. It's all right now. But used to be in high school in River Valley High School, and they are a very impressive group of talented women who are really making a difference in the community. So I'm going to turn it over to them, and I'm going to talk about what they can do.
Okay.
All right. Hi, everyone. For those of you who don't know, my name is Jessica Carr, and I'm the Health and Wellness Fellow for this internship called CARE, which the students will explain. And this contains students from River Valley and Yuba City High School. And I just want to thank you all for your continuous support in aiding the students for the past 2 years. And today they just want to showcase everything they have done so far in the past school year in their community and on their campus.
Good evening. My name is Simranpreet Kaur. I am a second-year intern with CAT. CAT is a public health year-long internship that deals with substance abuse and issues within our community. It is led by students from River Valley and Yuba City High School. And our goal for this year was to foster an open discussion about drugs use on our campus and within our community. The topics we have covered this year were alcohol, fentanyl, opioids, marijuana, vaping, and tobacco. We also had a fall retreat where 7 high schools within CAD program across California came together for a retreat. We were educated on different substances, stigma, addiction, and mental health. We also had interactive workshops for the interns to engage and learn. And we also reviewed our goals for this year.
Hey, good evening. My name is Harpreet Kaur, and I'm a sophomore, and I'm a first-year CAD intern. So basically, over the fall semester, we were educated on substances such as fentanyl, opioids, vaping. We did presentations and worksheets every week on the different substances to completely understand them. And then we used this information that we learned in the winter semester and applied it by taking it to our schools and tabling and doing different events just so we could help educate our peers and community. And then on October 11th, we CAD interns, we got together and we attended a school board meeting where we made public comments. We basically reintroduced CAD, and then we thanked the school board for approving Narcan. And for those who don't know, Narcan is a nasal spray which helps prevent opioid overdose. So we're very thankful for the school board for helping us get that on the campuses. And yeah.
Okay, good evening. My name is Nabjo, and I'm a second-year intern. We also had a youth summit that was hosted by YAFT. YAFT is a Young Adults Fighting Tobacco Coalition. They educated us on history of tobacco. We also learned about the tobacco industry and how it negatively impacts the community. We learned about how to become a leader and address these issues. We met with other open-minded people and learned from other young adults that are leaders in this community.
Good evening to the school board. My name is Smee Hundal. I'm a second-year intern as well as a sophomore at River Valley. Right here on the slide, you'll see Youth Quest, a youth advocacy event we attended this year and the previous year. The aim of this event was to bring youth advocates across California together to discuss the issue of big tobacco companies and their effect on the environment and community health. Our interns were able to talk to state legislators and share their efforts in the community. Another event we hosted for the community was our annual movie night. This year, we showed the Netflix documentary Take Your Pills, which discussed the abuse of Adderall. This event was successful as most of our audience was high school students, and the documentary shows the effects that Adderall is primarily taken by college students that are hoping to get a competitive and academic edge against their peers, and how they abuse Adderall so they can be the better student. Students in the audience provided great insight in the discussion about how they feel a need for a competitive edge to get ahead and how Adderall addictions are detrimental to our health. In our respective campuses, both YC and RV, we had campus campaigns in which we tabled to bring awareness to substance abuse. We had interactive activities and students enjoyed them, which helped educate them. We held our town hall for the second year, in which we had a CAD presentation on substances. We had a guest speaker and a discussion that followed. The highlight of this event was our guest speaker, Donna Brown, an intervention counselor at Sutter Yuba Mental Health, who shared her own experiences with drug addiction, as well as what she's been seeing as she deals with adolescents and teens on the job, as addictions continue to rise within our community and nationwide.
Good evening. My name is Manit Dami, and I'm a second-year CAD intern and I go to River Valley, and I'm a junior. So here are some recent events we did. We did a park cleanup, and we picked up substances such as cigarette butts and beer bottles to make the park safer for the kids and the community. And we hope to do more cleanups in the future. Fentanyl Awareness Day was on May 9th. Sorry. Oh. So sorry. And we gave out flyers that educated the kids on what fentanyl was and how it affects you. And we handed out candy as well. And we asked if they knew what it was and the dangers of it. And here's what's coming next. So we hope to get new interns, and we hope we get some more boys this year. We also want more campus involvement, get more faculty Narcan trained, community outreach, and a lot more social media presence.
So as we end off our second year, we just wanted to end off with saying a big thank you to all of our school board for your continued support and encouragement. This may be our first time talking to our newer board members, but for the ones we've already talked to and have been present at meetings for, we just want to say thank you so much for your dedication in implementing Narcan policies across campuses. We feel so much safer, and it works that like all of our CAD interns, their dedication and work has, shown off. And we never would have been able to do this without you. I wanted to highlight Superintendent Osumi and Principals McPeak and Olson, who we've worked with numerous times and who've encouraged us and supported us. And we just want to say we really appreciate everything that you've done. And as we will have a third year next year, so you'll have a new face of interns. Hopefully more guys will join us. Yeah. Personally, this is my last year as an intern. I joined my freshman year, and I just want to say it was a great honor in meeting everyone and the work we've done for the community, and we will continue to be at school board meetings. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Were there any questions? They might have any questions.
Fabulous.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Moving forward, there are no comments from the public for items not on the agenda, correct?
Correct.
To the consent agenda, with a couple thinking that really B and A have that correct. Could I have a motion on the consent agenda with the exceptions of B, and K?
I move that we approve.
I have a motion by member 30 and a second by member Court to approve the consent agenda with the exceptions of items B, G, and K. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? And then the motion carries. Moving forward, B is just an extension, correct? Okay, can I have a motion on item 13B?
I move that we approve item 13B.
Like,
Well,
second.
are we requesting exception? No,
Abstention. She's abstaining. On a motion by member Pretty and a second by member Quilty. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed, abstentions?
Aye.
Okay, member Donnie abstaining. The motion carries. All right, moving forward to 13.
Yeah, I just, anytime I see a curriculum coming up for approval, I'm always gonna wonder, has this curriculum been chosen by the teachers who will be using it? That's the first question. I'm just gonna put all my questions out there so you can answer however you'd like. What makes this curriculum better than what was previously used? And finally, how will we assess the efficacy of this curriculum as opposed to others?
Okay, this particular curriculum is a supplemental resource. With preschool, they don't have like state adopted materials. They use a variety of resources. This was one, the teachers, our director, Ubershar, actually looked for something for them. Teachers have requested that they have some additional resources because they're serving a slightly different clientele now. As we move forward into TK expansion, there are more 3-year-olds in the program than there are 4-year-olds now. And so they requested more resources. This is a program that was recommended through the community, I'm gonna forget the name of it. Thank you. And so this is one that was recommended through their program. They have taken a look at it, they like it, so they're moving forward with purchase.
I always like to know that. Thank you.
The essentials kit, is that like a hands-on manipulatives?
It has a variety of different types of elements to it, but yeah, that's one aspect of it, but I don't know if that's the name of that specific part.
If there are no further questions, can I have a motion?
I'll second.
All right, on a motion by member Donnie, a second by member Pretty to approve 13B. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. Now moving forward to 13K, I believe member Donnie and member Pretty both have questions.
Yeah, I went through this contract and I was looking at the amount of time and the costs associated. I guess that was my concern. With this particular piece and kind of the framework for, I saw what their intent is with the district. And I guess I just have questions. Are they here to facilitate these things, like restoring communication and capacity and all that? Is that their goal? Is it going to be a leadership team that's tied into that?
I was clarifying something with the my apologies. So this is something Media Education has an educational component, and so this is a I want to say a research and pre-coded in terms of our leadership teams that will be involved in all of our principals and our assistant principals. We're going to be starting on before they it's on the 15th of June. So identifying our portrait of a graduate in terms of the skill sets that we would like to see our graduate to leave our schools with. And so building from TK through 12th grade, building upon those skill sets that we want to see in our students, and then identifying some 4 key elements that we want to work with our teachers on in terms of student engagement, the rigor of what's going on in the classroom. So kind of a teaching and learning component that will be identified in terms of building from the portrait of the graduate, building on what we wanted to see in our classrooms and working with our staff on that. And then there would be a coaching component for our administrators to work with, the identified person from Meteor, who would be working with our leaders in terms of looking at data, having conversations about staff development. So it's a comprehensive plan to identify some key areas so that we're not all over the map. And so that was the intent of this work.
So the other question, the follow-up question that I have to that is that they give us well, two questions. One, they give us 14 days on site and 98 hours that are virtual in nature. Are the virtual hours flexible to where if in person is wanted, the ability to transition that over?
Yes, I think we had talked about virtual just because of the nature of some of our administrators' schedules to give them the flexibility to be in person or to do it virtually. So that was the component that I requested in terms of not having to necessarily bring our principals off their sites or away from their sites to be able to be on their site, be able to still have a coaching conversation, but be able to be at their site. So that's a component that can be adjusted based upon the needs of the administrator.
Okay. I had one more question, but I forgot.
So I think you answered a couple of mine. One of my first questions was it's a TK through 12 program. So in it, in the proposal I was reading, it mentioned teacher leaders as well. So you're only speaking about admin.
Right.
So why not bring in like, content leads? Okay, they'll be there also, because if you don't have the teacher buy-in, it's gonna fall
That
apart.
is exactly what we discussed in terms of making sure that we did have the teacher component and the teacher voices, and it's a collaborative and putting all the pieces together and not having everything scattered. That's the goal of this project.
I'm actually extremely happy that we're finally looking at some vertical articulation. Because we've never really 8th to 9th or 5th to 6th, or it's never really happened.
And that is the intent, is narrowing down our scope of focus and really focusing on what we want to see our students leaving our system, our district with. But that is why it's imperative for our elementary teachers and administrators to know what they look like when they're adults, and that.
But it's important from up here, they look and say, okay, where are they when they are down here in younger grades?
That's the intent.
Good. I remember my second question. So this company Meteor if you talk about like the data and the evaluation, they're gonna look at data, they're gonna do all these things. Is that outside of the scope of the 14 days and 98 hours, like that's included?
So that'll be in terms of the planning. So it's kind of like a planning a map. So we have our calendar. It's like planning that calendar out in terms of our administrators and our teachers knowing when will we have a discussion of data, when will we moving on to the next component that we want to see in the classroom. So it is very sequential and very organized.
Sorry, then I misunderstood. So these are facilitators that are going to engage our employees in these types of discussions and whatnot.
So it'll be a facilitator who's working with our administrators who also work with our teacher leaders, so that it's not feeling, I really wanted it to not feel like it was top down, that our administrators would be working on site with their teacher leaders and their teachers in order to build the momentum back where we were, pre-COVID.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, we have a motion on 13.
Motion to approve as written.
On a motion by member COCOA and a second by member 30 to approve 13K. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries.
Rest community recommends. So with the board's actions on the consent agenda, I'd like to recognize two individuals. So tonight you took action on the Assistant Superintendent of Education Services, who will be replacing Hannah Roxanne. And in the audience is Tina Guzman, or Florentino Guzman. So Tina is here, and so with that, he is going to be our next Assistant Superintendent. Yeah, and then also, yes, Hannah's going to retire. And then also with that action, you've accepted the resignation of our Assistant Super of Human Resources, Mike Reed. Mike is a lifelong dream to relocate down to Southern California. He's got his mother-in-law down there, and so he is a bit of an empty nester now. And so he has been hired by the Solana Beach Unified School District. School district. And he will serve as their Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources and will begin his little adventure July 1. So we want to thank him for his service to the district and wish him well as he starts his new career down there. Yeah, so thanks, Margaret. It's gonna be insane weather. I know, it's just, it sounds terrible.
When Dave and Earl left and his office looked out. Over
Yes.
the street.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Our hearts are breaking.
Congratulations. A lot of you. Tino probably feels like he did a short stint.
Get to work with.
Moving forward to the action items 14A is the second reading and consideration for approval for proposed revisions to board policy.
Yes, so this is the one of the board policies that were brought at the last meeting for approval. This is for second reading. This is the policy related to food allergies. And as I shared, this is a result of an OCR request to modify our policies. And I bring forward for consideration approval of this policy BP and AR 5141.27.
Are there any questions? If not, I have a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
On a motion by member Dami and a second by member Ciociola to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Moving to 14B. Provided.
This is always a confusing one, but this is a regular routine resolution that every district does in the state of California. It essentially allows us to, as we kind of close the books and that there's possibilities of us needing to reclassify some of the expenditures. And of course, we work within a budget, so we have to stay within that. So this just allows us to do what we have to do to close the books and pay our bills, but that we always report out the unaudited actuals in September, following year. Show exactly what happened with the school finances.
Are there any questions on this? Could I have a motion to approve?
So motions.
Second motion. On a motion by member Ciociola and a second by member Clotilde to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Moving forward to 14C.
I move that we approve as discussed in closed session.
Second.
On a motion by member Pretty and a second by I think member Donnie. To approve 14C as discussed in closed session. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. 14B, the approval of Park Avenue painting project.
Oh, question, Mark, for clarification.
Would that be or
What is the base bid slash alternate bid? What is? Yeah, he's gonna be Mark.
Yeah, we actually bid it for the base bid is exterior. The alternate was getting the interior hallways done. So we combined them for the full base bid.
Gotcha. Okay. I was on reading like base bid, alternate bid. What the heck is this? All right. Thank you.
We just know who to go to.
So, I mean, you'll see a few of these action items, and we've been keeping you busy with these during the year, which I just have to applaud Mark and his team for working really hard to make improvements to the school. And Park Avenue definitely needs a paint job, so this is a nice improvement to the school.
Well, and from touring the school, they're very much looking forward to having their school colors represented versus
Blue and white.
Versus colors that don't represent them. So I from talking to the principal, I know they're very excited. The other thing too is the third mural they painted looks really nice as well.
If you have an opportunity to drive by, it is pretty impressive.
Yeah, looks nice.
With that, could I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 14B.
All right, on a motion by member Clotilde and a second by member Donnie to approve 14B. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. 14E.
And more improvements to the school. So this is interactive glass panels that we went out to bid, and Robert Cookman took the lead on this. So I think we talked about this in the past. looking forward to making improvements to 200 of the classrooms. These are the classrooms that are also getting furniture, so we're kind of just doing overhauls, you know, for the whole classrooms, furniture and technology.
Is this coming out of that same grant money? Is this what this is, or is this separate? This is like facilities need, or is this just the overall upgrade?
No, so this is coming out of you know, one-time restricted dollars. So this is that you kind of wondering about the funding source?
Kind of sort of I guess more along the lines of a different grant, but
If I remember, this is supplemental concentration. Is that did the technology come out? Sorry, I didn't have that.
The installation project. Yes, we chose to use our rollover supplemental concentration. And we don't would normally have that, but we have it because we had, you know, 30 million in ESSER funds for our ESSER 3. So we spent a lot of that money, and then it was competing with our LCAP items, and so we had rollover, and this is one of the ways we are spending down on rollover.
is the I'm gonna say that specifically that it's on this back. Is this part of a need, or is this an overall upgrade, or it just new equipment?
Well, I would say this is a little bit more of the standard today, but you can teach without it, if you know, when it comes to need. But I think this is a great infusion into, you know, improvement in what we're doing education wise.
But it is a replacement of the old technology.
Oh, it's actually just the installation purchase.
This is the installation part of it. We've had like overhead projectors and that kind of stuff, but
Right, but the overall technology is for replacement of also old equipment.
old equipment and different equipment. So it's an upgrade.
Think of the TV that we purchased for the last one.
This is the installation of those.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
It's okay.
Good installation, all right. You would think, huh?
When are these projected to go in?
The summer.
There are no further questions to have a motion.
A motion that we approve. Second.
On a motion by, I think it was member 4 and a second by member Lamb, to approve 14E. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. 14F, approval of flooring replacement proposal. Are there any questions on that one?
This is the floor. Is this the floor for Rivales? Or is this like?
There are several classrooms. Mark, do you have a detail on the exact?
Yeah.
classroom?
We already approved the one for River Valley.
Yeah.
This is actually to deal with the furniture change out. There's about 22 classrooms, I think, that we're gonna do ahead of the furniture change out. So when they come back with the new furniture, they'll have new flooring. And we went through and assessed all of them, and the flooring really needed replaced. So this is a good time.
So Mark, you know, as we're, you know, moving stuff out, it's just kind of the overall upgrade of the classrooms. And
That's okay, I just thought I'd show you. Because it's mostly elementary schools and they do spend floor time, so having decent carpeting is kind of nice.
Any other questions? Okay, now can I have a motion on 14?
Make a motion to approve. Second.
On a motion by member Dami, second by member Lamb to approve 14F. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Yeah. Hearing none, the motion carries. 14G, approval of furniture surplus resolution.
yeah, so as we're doing our furniture change outs, we need to surplus our old furniture, and we have had some board discussion about, you know, possibility of allowing some of the community to engage in that process. And so we heard that, and so we have listed blocks of furniture on our surplus site. So it's basically an auction site with no limit. People, I mean, could buy it for $1, you know, so that's kind of how they can get this. But we have thousands and thousands of pieces of furniture that we need to get out in 2 weeks, and so the rest of it we'd like to donate to the Mexico Sister Cities Association, and this would require a unanimous vote by the board to make this happen, and that's what we're asking.
What's the cost associated with that?
So this time we're not paying for the transport.
That's right, that's what, yeah. No cost for no cost.
So they're gonna come in, meaning even our staff costs.
Yeah, we're gonna empty it out of the classroom. They're gonna pick it up from the school site and remove it at no cost.
Okay, and when you say that you added it onto an auction website, are we posting that somewhere for the community to be able to tap into, or we?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if it's quite on our website yet, but that is the goal, and we're gonna try to get that out, in other ways as well, so we're definitely notify the community.
And which furniture is gonna be going out to the community? Is it the one that sounds at Central Basement, or is it right out of the classroom, or?
I believe it's spread out of the classroom, but we need to move out now, so I don't know exactly which pieces it is.
You said the public has 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yes. 2 or 3 weeks, I don't know if it's 2 or 3.
But you haven't actually rolled that out on our district website yet.
What's that?
Have we listed the surplus items on the
Website.
surplus?
Yeah, it's gonna get on the website and also have it in the local paper for notification.
You
And,
can also go call the local radio station and have them announce it.
oh, yeah, we have not
Because a lot
done that. We
very
could do that as
people read
well.
the newspaper anymore, so.
Yeah.
Can you send us the link though, when you get that? When you
Yeah,
press
well,
that?
it's publicsurplus.com.
Okay.
On the report. And is there a opportunity for, like, does it have to go through auction, or can we?
That's a board policy and code that either taxpayer follows, so yes, it does have to, if it has value, we need to.
Do you need to sell it?
Yes.
Or do you need to auction? There's difference.
I mean, you need to have a competitive process, and so this is the easiest competitive process to do for us.
But, so I think that so when you say auction, 'cause I had that idea of auction, so, but there's so much of it, if someone did $5 for a bundle of whatever it is, there's.
Now it's available to the public, it's an open forum that people can purchase it, yeah. So
Can you give me an idea of what a bundle might look like? Is it like 100 desks, or is it like 2
50,
desks?
I think we talked about, bundles of 50, I don't know if we have different.
That's an awful lot. I mean, when we, to me, it's, when we talked about it, we talked about having the community be able to come, and maybe there's different avenues for that, but we have households that may need 1 desk, and they may need 1 view table, like that was. Bookshelf. Yeah, a bookshelf or whatnot, and that was kind of the idea, not like 50 desks, because you know what's gonna happen with that, if somebody wins it for $1, that particular bundle, they're gonna take what they need, they're gonna leave the rest. So then we have,
If I can clarify, so it actually, what we're doing is individual items.
okay,
We start the bid at $1,
okay,
and actually the website treats it as an auction. So
okay,
public can auction it up to the pricing.
okay,
So we have groups of like 10 student desks, 10 student chairs, 1 item each. And then the bundles are 25 desks of student desks, 25 chairs. So we're considering a lot. So that way, if somebody wanted a larger amount, they don't have to bid on all the individuals. But the individuals also are available to bid on.
so you separated that.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That makes sense. I mean, if a church needs 30 desks, they can bid on the lot as opposed to the.
And the individuals are also available, individual items.
Okay, but this is not the furniture that's been sitting outside at Central.
No, what we did was we have 3 major schools with the majority of the furniture removal,
Okay.
AK, Gray, and then also View Vista. So a lot of these are coming from those sites because that's the most quantity we're trying to dispose of. So and then we've got pictures on the site also of the specific desk. We labeled it. So the person bidding on that item will get that desk.
Okay, and go ahead, because then I'll remember mine.
Okay, and when are all of these gonna be uploaded onto that website?
They're working on it right now. We have some of them already been uploaded. And we did a trial a few weeks ago. We had some file cabinets over at the old DO, and we did that as our trial.
I was just trying to look at it and it said just nothing was up yet.
Yeah, so we're still loading it up because we got about half the pictures. We're trying to finish it up this week.
My last question, hopefully, is can we give to other school entities as well? Like, I know we have all of this, but is that?
That is an option, actually, that is an option that you can do instead of surplusing it, you can give it to other government agencies.
So would they just reach out to the superintendent and say, do you have X, Y, Z available? There's all the horrible fires we've had in recent years.
Yeah, and there
Special work completely does-
drivers supposed to reach out and fire supposed to reach out when they know that we have things available, so that is an option as well.
Okay.
Sure.
There's no further questions. Is there a motion on?
Recognize questions from the audience or not?
No.
I make a motion to approve.
A motion by member Ciola and a second by member Ford to approve 14G. All those in favor? All those opposed? Hearing none. Government liaison. The committee is part of the government liaison committee. Unfortunately, I was unable to attend, but member Domi was there, correct?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
There were a lot of things that we talked about. We talked about some new subdivisions that are going up. We also talked about, this is probably the most memorable piece, because it impacts me on a different level. Is they just redid the park behind the Taco Bell on Tuesday. And they have, I think it's Connor's Corner, is that what it's called? Collins, I'm so sorry, Collins Corner. And it really touched me because it's very sensory. And I can just imagine like my nephew going in there and playing. But that was one of the most memorable pieces of the community resources that we have, and the family was there for the ribbon cutting as well. It was dedicated to Colin, who passed, I think he passed away, right, from cancer. Something but he had autism. Oh, okay. Okay, and that was one of the parks that he used to visit a lot, so that was really nice to hear about that. The Berry School water line thing is going in soon. They also talked about the widening of Walton right in front of AK and building sidewalks. The sidewalks will be on the east side. Same side. Sorry, west side. Sorry, but it'll extend that. There'll be a stop sign at Cherry, or sorry, stop light at Cherry. Hopefully that'll make the traffic go a little bit better.
Maybe on the Lincoln School, right?
I'm trying to imagine.
Past Lincoln School, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so you know how it goes, you're going south, there's two lanes going to one.
Yeah, I
It's
see
gonna
it,
be,
but I'm like, I don't understand how they're gonna widen it, given the fact that the house is so close to the road.
so they have easements and probably part of the property that people are using right now is probably not theirs.
Because the houses that are on Walton and Lincoln, they're super close to the road.
They'll figure it out.
So that's like, I understand the vision that they're going for, I'm just confused on how it's like,
Yeah, widening the sidewalks, which I think it'll, again, like for us, it'll create more safe pathways to school, to and from school, because Walton can get really unsafe.
Can I ask you a question? Was there any discussion about putting like speed tables or speed bumps?
There was not, but we did talk about it in the last one. And we did hear from Mr. Bloomgarden, I believe it was, and he had said that he made a comment that speed bumps in those residential areas can be can impact, fire trucks and ambulances from getting to where they need to be. But he did say that he was gonna take back, the suggestion.
I think that's in Sacramento, you don't see speed bumps, but you see speed tables, which are not quite as jarring if you go over them a little too quickly.
Yeah.
So like the fire department or the ambulance.
Or even those little, like,
something to
circle
slow people down and say, hey, you're not supposed to be going that fast on this street. School right here.
I can definitely take that back the next time.
That would be really good. I thought that's gonna be City High School, the last time I thought it's like B Street, why is there nothing there?
Yeah, and with the new subdivisions, I did also bring up the need to advocate for parks
kind of like how Sacramento does and other areas when we're bringing in new subdivisions, if we can advocate for them also bringing in parks, but maybe that's not our lane.
We're living in park now.
Oh, okay. Big, huge, yard bands, yes.
Yeah, that's almost done. It's really nice. And then putting a subdivision. Yeah. 3 of them.
Oh, and we're also getting a
Raising Cane's.
and we're getting another, what's the coffee place? Dutch Brothers. We're getting a Dutch Brothers at the corner where
But still no.
Walmart. No, sorry, it should have been.
Never forget. Burger King.
And I think the last thing that we really talked about was that there was gonna, or huge thing for us, was the impact these subdivisions might bring to surrounding schools. Yeah, so I think the biggest ones are Yuba-Sutter that we're gonna be impacted. Well, and River Valley, yeah. So
Really impacted.
So
our numbers will go up.
I think that there was like a discussion of like, not discussion, a thought, potentially having to redraw school boundary lines, but having that be a discussion in the near future, possibly pending these subdivisions. Yeah. I don't know what else.
Thank you. I don't believe there were any other committee reports for. No written communications from the public, comments from employee representatives. I guess Mercedes can go first. We missed her so much last time, so let's see her excitement.
Thank you. I am Mercedes Geraldo and I represent our classified unit here at Yuba City Unified. And I want to start off with congratulating all of our retirees. Weren't necessarily always here in the room because classified people retire when they choose to retire and not at the end of the school year, which is really kind of special. We tend to look at when that best multiplier jumps in, and that's when we jump ship. But there was 384 years of service of classified employees that retired this year. So that's pretty significant. We had some really long time employees, some of our top on the list. Now, you know what that means. That means I moved up a little bit closer, which is pretty cool. I want to talk about Classified School Employees Week. That is this week. It was originally signed into law by SB 1552 in 1986 by Governor Duke Majan, establishing the third week of each May as Classified Employees Week. Now, many of our schools celebrated Teachers Week and Classified Week together, and a lot of it was last week, and we do appreciate that. However, just like I'm sure that our teaching colleagues appreciated when they got a shout out that it was Teachers Week, classified employees appreciate that. And to my knowledge, not a lot of our management staff has really reached out to classified and congratulated them, thanked them, or whatever you want to say. We have departments that are solely made up of classified employees. Yet our managers aren't always reaching out. So I do encourage that we make sure that our managers do reach out to their people and remind them that classifieds are important. So I'm going to just put this out there. When was the last time we told our cafeteria worker, thank you for making sure our kids got fed? Thanked a bus driver for getting the sports team safely to their event in sometimes the most worst weather you've ever imagined, and you certainly wouldn't want to drive in it, but those bus drivers are out there early in the morning making sure. How about the custodial staff that cleaned up that mess that maybe somebody called about, and we're not even quite sure what that mess was, but that custodian was there to clean it up. What about IT for making everything run in our district, right? I mean, even this board meeting, we have IT right here. Thank you for what you do. I appreciate you. Our office staff for being mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles to our kids as they come in, being those nurturers, taking those phone calls. Sometimes they're not pleasant phone calls either, but they have to take them, and they have to take them with that, without that edge in their voice, and continue on with their day. Campus supervisors for maybe breaking up that fight, maybe have coming home with a bruise on their arm or a scratch in their face or something like that, because that's their job and that's what they do every day. Our library staff for giving the gift of reading to our students. Our paraeducators that oftentimes are relied on to deal with those difficult students. Maybe a student's acting up, you're going to rely on that paraeducator to help them out, to get them back to that baseline, to get them to where they need to be so that they can be ready to learn again. Our maintenance crew for making all of our buildings safe and sound, keeping the air moving, the heat going, the leaks from the roof from leaking. Most of the time, I know that's an ongoing thing and it's almost impossible to keep up with, but they try, darn it, they really try hard. And then all of our special services, our school-based mental health. Can you imagine working with a student in crisis and finally get done with that and you want to take a breath, but oh no, because there's another student in crisis somewhere else that you have to go see. So when was the last time we reached out? Our occupational therapist, our physical therapist, our SLPAs, they're out there doing important work for our students. But when was the last time we reached out to them? We are indispensable. We're inspiring to our students and we're invincible, but we don't want to be invisible. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good evening, board members, staff, and anybody in the audience. I'm Dean Lipkins, President of the Yuba City Teachers Association. I'd like to thank you for your recognition this evening of the retirees. I appreciate your invitation to their administrators and supervisors to bring that recognition forward. The service of your employees to our students is invaluable. We continue to remind you that these are your greatest assets, and you are celebrating with us as these great assets move on to other things. And we certainly wish them the very best, but we're losing a lot of talent. I've recognized a variety of retirees over the last couple of months. The most recent retiree to come in is Kathy Palacios. Kathy Palacios is a kindergarten teacher down at River Bend, and Kathy made that decision late in the game to retire for personal reasons, but we wish Kathy Palacios the very best as she moves into retirement. Her team at River Bend will miss Kathy's expertise and dedication to kindergarten students. I would like to thank Pam and Mike. I appreciate the opportunity to have worked with you. And I wish you both the very best as you go on to your different beach experiences. I do have some degree of envy, though, as you move on to those beach experiences. I appreciate the service you have given Yuba City Unified and have valued our time to work together. So thank you. And I'd like to talk about a couple of items on tonight's board agenda. The contract with Meteor seems to be an exciting opportunity to rethink things, and I appreciate that investment in both the resources to bring in this Meteor contract, but also the investment in your personnel as we all work together. I recognized the 4 areas of working on critical thinking, wellness and safety, authentic learning, engagement, and collaboration. I thought those were 4 areas of critical focus for all of us. So I look forward to that work. I do think it will be important for that effort to be collaborative, as it also mentioned measurement tools. So measurement tools from education point of view, we always look at with, what are they measuring? Have we figured out what we're measuring, like what's most important? And are we measuring what's most important? And are we getting valid and reliable results? I worked for about 10 years on a statewide assessment of the Golden State exam, and truly believed that that was high quality assessment that drove instruction. We engaged students in science labs and science writing. We didn't assess their science performance in a multiple choice, and it drove instruction forward. I know it drove instruction forward because I watched over the decade student responses improve. So I hope that our measurement tools are well designed and that they give us the data we really need, and that they move us all forward. I would like to address the furniture surplus. I do hope that prior to surplusing any furniture, we make sure to redistribute all the best furniture that's still here to the classrooms that might need it. Because we've got some good stuff out there, and just because you didn't get selected or volunteer to have your classroom get new furniture, you might still have tables in your classroom that are wobbly and missing parts and screws that come loose and divots in the table. So let's work together to make sure that that equipment gets redistributed so that the resources we need stay here until all of them are then replaced. And I continue to urge us, while I think all of those items in the meteor contract are part of us encouraging and incentivizing student attendance, we need to confront student attendance. And I've said this to you before, and I'm going to keep saying it again because my reps at Rep Council even this Monday brought it up again as a concern. And it's a twofold concern. We can't educate them if they're not in the room, and we lose funding if they're not in the room. So we've got to, as a district, embrace what are we going to do about it and how are we going to do it together. I would encourage us to form a work group to say, let's figure it out. Let's think outside the box. Let's figure out what we can do. We've got to incentivize kids being at school, and then we've got to figure out what to do when they're not. So I really hope that we can attack student attendance next year, as well as student safety. So I know that's part of the meteor, but it continues to be a high priority for all of us. And then finally, I'd like to consider another initiative, community schools. The governor's budget builds in a great deal of money for community schools. If you aren't aware of community schools, I encourage you to look into the idea. Yuba City, in a way, has embraced the idea of community schools. The best example I can think of is Park Avenue. Park Avenue has always felt like a community schools. Back to the days of Linda Cohey, when it just brought a sense of community that they were all in it together. It takes a village to educate and raise our children. I believe that's what community schools can do for us. It's an opportunity to use state money to embrace a partnership with all of our community stakeholders, our parents, our community employers, our staff, to strengthen our school communities. We can do this so that our students feel safe, valued, engaged, challenged, and healthy. It's a complete wraparound services so that we have inclusive and collaborative decision making. From the folks I've heard from who already have implemented community schools, they are transformative. And I just think that it would be awesome if we could embrace the initiative in some way here in Yuba City Unified. And finally, I close with the end of the school year. There's those graduations, those promotions, there's the end of school activities, there's the end of year exhaustion. And there's also still some testing going on out there. So as we close out this year, I hope that we will close out this year with the completion of negotiations. We're at mediation on Friday. I do hope that we will be able to reach a deal in mediation and not need to go any further. And we can close this year out with a tentative agreement. So I thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and ask you to hold the comments from board members, superintendents, till the end, so we can get our closed session under this time. Is that okay? All right, with that, we'll repeat adjourn to closed session.
Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.